live it, and it becomes your nature. It becomes nature, then it's automatic. It just goes on. And it becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. Because you are practicing it. And practice makes perfect. The more you do, the better you are. The more you do, the better you are. You know, there is this argument between the husband and wife. They listen to a sound of a bird and say there's a chicken. So the wife said there's a duck. Then the husband said, no, stupid, there is a chicken. How can there be a duck? Then somebody has to give in, isn't it? And the husband must give in. It's easier. Tell her, okay, darling, it's a duck, doesn't matter. Let her win the argument. She is happy, she'll be more loving to you. If the husband is clever, give in. Give in to the wife. It's a duck, doesn't matter. Does it matter whether it's a chicken or a duck? Does it matter? Both are birds anyway. Clever husbands, but the unclever husband, the untrained husband, no, cannot be. You stupid, how can that be? You so stupid, are you? You know, you make a big argument on it instead of saying, okay, you're right, and then enjoy the rest of the day. Then she will hold your hand more tightly and say, oh, you're so understanding. This is what the Buddha wants. Very down to earth. But we need to put it into practice. I don't want you to look at this as theory. I don't want you to look at this as, some knowledge. But I want you to put it in actual life. And I can guarantee you this. You will benefit. Your family will benefit. Your children will benefit. And I will be the happiest person to know that you have benefit. Because I can guarantee you that. These are tried and tested things. The Buddha has taught these things to so many families all over around northeastern India, from house to house. Then we need to also look at some other ingredients. Then we can go into many, but I thought I'll highlight some of these major ones. Sharing and caring. You must share. Don't just think about yourself, me, mine. It is ours. We. Go from I to we. Ours. This is our family. This is ours. Not me, my, I. Because the whole world today, our education system, the Western influence, all talking about I, me, my. And the ego has become so big that it has become a big problem. Because we are all focusing on the individual. By all means have your individuality. By all means have your ambition. By all means have your, goals. Your own goals. By all means. But don't think the whole world is revolving around you. You are only one small speck in the world. You have immediately your spouse. After the spouse, you have your family. You have to share. Learn to share. These are developed through dana, sharing, caring, compassion. All these things is coming. It doesn't mean throw away all the other things. Have them, but this is an additional layer which will make whatever you want to achieve easier and more achievable. You can actualize all these things. But if you don't follow these or develop these ingredients, you will not be able to actualize. So these are the ingredients that we are talking about. Once you get these ingredients into place, then you will have a good relationship, a very sound husband and wife relationship. Then we come to the next stage. We are going to have children from this relationship. Now what normally happens is, there are no preparations for the husband and wife to think beforehand, to plan beforehand for the relationship. That's why today we have so many issues and problems of marriages breaking up, of children who are born out of all kinds of sexually transmitted diseases affecting them. Because they have not been following certain guidelines. The first guideline that we need to have in mind is that before we think in terms of having babies, is to make sure that we ourselves are healthy. Physically we are healthy. Spiritually we are healthy. Both. Imagine a husband going to karaoke and messing himself up with all kinds of things. He is not following the program of sila, of taking care of his own body. Then he brings in all these kinds of diseases. In any case, after karaoke, husband and wife had few drinks. Then they have a baby. The liquor will go into the blood system and will going to affect it. This is biologically proven, it is already scientifically proven. Before the child is going to give birth, there is this husband and wife. Mentally, spiritually, they go to temple, they take care of their body, they follow the sila. Sila is to take care of our body, not anybody else's body, our own body. Sila helps you to take care of your own body, so that your body is physically not going to be affected. If you follow Sila, you're safe. Then you make spiritual developments, you have nice ambience, you have done vihara and all those things. In that environment, if the child is being created, with all the other factors coming in, it will be a better child than if the child born out of this unhealthy lifestyle. This is a wonderful lifestyle. So the child has got an advantage of it. Being created, being born, being formed in that ambience, in that environment of a happy family life, of a happy married life, and the child is created in that environment, much superior than the other opposite type. So that is a very important thing that we need to follow, first of all. Secondly, what happens today, unfortunately, in terms of this situation is that we tend to think in terms of only the physical side. We only think of the physical side, because that is how we have been trained, that is how we have been taught. We only know about our body. But we need to understand what we are, who we are. We need to understand that the diagram about the circle. We need to understand that we are made of mind and body. We are made of mind and body. That we need to understand. This is not taught elsewhere. But in Buddhism, it is very clearly taught that whether you like it or not, whether you believe or not, whether you are a Buddhist or not, whether you are Malaysian or Indonesian or African or American, all of us have a mind and a body. That is what we are. The human being has got a mind and body. We need to understand that. We need to remind ourselves this. And this mind is a symbiotic component. It has to depend on the body, and the body has to depend on the mind. They depend on each other. It's intertwined, interlinked. You cannot divorce it from the other. A healthy body makes a healthy mind, and a healthy mind makes a healthy body. They must live with each other. That is the symbiotic aspect. Now, if we all are made of mind and body, then we need to take care of the mind as well when childbirth takes place. We just cannot think in terms of the physical aspect. cannot think of the physical aspect. We must think of the mental, emotional, psychological aspect. I will be discussing this aspect in more detail in section 2. But right now we must understand this mind and body dynamics. Now, is there any questions before I go further? And what time do we stop for the first session? 11 or 11:30. Anybody wants to find out about the diagrams, anything more? Any questions? Well, that only to illustrate that there are two components. The color has some people put blue and gray and all those things. But I just want to, in an illustrative form, of course this mind and body is not in a circular form, but illustrative form to show that we are components of this. That is where Buddhism is able to make a major difference from all other religions, because of the recognition of the importance of the mind and the recognition that this mind has to develop. I started off by explaining that social ills and crimes is not because of anything else, it's because of the mind. This untrained, uncultured mind is the primary cause of social ills and crimes. A trained, cultured mind would not behave this way. So if that is now you ask the question, I'm coming back to the answer. If this mind is trained and cultured, then our children will not behave the way other children must behave. That's the very fundamental reality. Of course, beyond that, we have other programs and other ingredients to come. I will be talking about that slowly. But immediately we must understand that it is the untrained, uncultured mind. And we are now going to look at this mind even before the mind is, or before the child is born. So that is what we will do. We'll be discussing that in section 2, but right now I just want you to appreciate that one. Now when you're talking in terms of baby born and all those things, we're now talking about family. We have now gone from husband and wife to family. Because family is not just husband and wife, family is children as well. That's the normal concept of family, to have children. But actually strictly husband and wife already family. But now the conventional ways look at the unit of the whole, children as well. And we are taught from small, according to the Western concept, a happy family. How does a happy family exist? What is the usual way we are taught? So long as the parents and the children have a good relationship, that's a happy family, right? Parents one side, children on the other side. If they have a very good relationship, the family is happy. We look at it only in the natural form. One side children, one side parents, the other side children, and they interact. That is how we have been taught from small, all over the world. All over the world, this is how we are taught. Very natural, one-dimensional only. Can this succeed? Can this relationship succeed? Can or not? How many of you say can? Nobody. But this is what you are doing. How many of you say cannot? It can, in some cases it can. But if you look at it realistically, it is not the parents and children interacting at this level. Long before they can interact at this level, the parents